oftentimes when we are seeking what we think, what we have a compulsion to assume, to conclude, to have guesswork for, that is going to be this next thing. It's going to be this. When I have this, it'll bring me to the next level. Or if I have this, I'll be, good forever. Be good for the rest of my life. So, like, money is the easiest one, the quickest one we give an example to. So it's, as a set amount of money, it's gonna, just kind of complete me, basically. Um, like as if it like will make me happy, procure every, object or whim of the desire that seems to arise in any moment, given you have enough to do that kind of thing, which will also never be enough, but that's besides the point. Just like any device or tool that we have is, I like to quote, "There's enough in the world for everyone's need, but not everyone's greed," and so goes the same for all of your objective aims to kind of secure the desire that you have, which is ultimately infinite. So it's not that everyone's greedy, but the moment you assume and start seeking that, well, whatever it is that's going to apparently secure the infinitude of your desires, which do arise in the mind as objective realities, meaning like fabrications and material manifestations. Like these are assumptions in the mind. Oh, I'm desiring, and then the mind's like, oh, well, what about this, and what about that? Like the mind is a merchant, really is. Gotta have like kind of something to look forward to all the time, even if the story is kind of self-conflagrating bullshit. We actually like enchanting ourselves, romanticizing with the assumption that because if I get the thing, it's so loftily, um, it's like lazy eye. You know what I mean? Like it's so that kind of like you just glazing along, wanting to just assume that the next rest and stop will be the one where I'm good forever. And it's never the case. Like everywhere along the road, it's at best, you're stopping at a gas station and get some fuel. And you remind yourself, the life was, really on the road. And the life is the journey. It's the adventure. That's the imperative, if there is anything at all, right? As an experience, I mean, not because again, that's the whole point, is the reminder that it's not about objective reality. Because the moment you think you get to the axiom of your assumptions, the kind of end game of all perceptions and guesswork, and I damn near even say curiosities, and again in the objective sense, not in the ultimate sense, because you can only be curious about something, right? There's no being like curious about, well, you can ask something like maybe what don't you know, and then be curious about that, but then you still have to have an idea, which is more or less a thing, which is again objective perception, right? So I'm just kind of unwrapping any kind of potential scapegoat in this scenario. So there's nothing, long story short, to tie it in a bow, is that like that will make us happy. Like I can make you happy, but like there's no lasting quality that you can call essential. Sorry, that you can call objective. And there's nothing objective that you can call essential, meaning like elemental, primordially pure in its very own seemingly singular quality. Because everything is meant to kind of ebb and flow in life. There's no, once I get the thing and then I'm good. And it's like, well, you're going to have whatever the experience is, and then it's going to kind of sift into another quality. Or it's going to have this synesthetic blend of, like this concoctionary blend of qualities. So there's no matter which way you go, it's not that like, oh, if I'm happy, then I'm unhappy. It's just that you don't even know. You've made up in your mind what an experience is, and then you try to seek it. So I'm saying like what you call happiness isn't even the same twice anyways. Just like lightning never strikes twice, truly. So you're never actually the same sadness. You're never the same anything, right? You're never the same state. You're never actually achieving the same status effect. Like you do a really good workout yesterday, you do a different workout. Like you do another workout today, it's not the same as yesterday. So it's just, no matter what you try to repetitionalize or revive, it's never going to be the same thing as it was before, which seemed to be the thing that promised you a certain kind of effect in the first place. So you see, by talking about this stuff, by really going into it, there's no real, like, what is it? Like, you can kind of always talk about what's not it and how it's not it. Because all you can talk about is an idea, is ideas. There's no talking about something which really is an essential quality, because it's beyond logic to talk about it. It's not born of logic. A quality in life is not born of logic. We create the logic based upon the logical mind that we inherently have, which was created. So, no amount of seeking anything in this world or anywhere else is going to... Because again, it's not even about the things. It's about the kind of statically sensed fabrication of there being a thing at all. Like when you put your hand around something, you perceive through a sensory array of perceptions, like in the body, not just like some mental framework, that there is a thing to behold, right? Literally. And it's that sensory perception that is illusory. It's not entirely truth-telling, because you perceive that as long as my hand is on this, I have it. As long as the grip is there, it's mine, etc. and so forth. But you know very well that in some time, somewhere in the, quote unquote, the back of your mind, even though that statement's not literally true, in a technical way, that it's not going to last. And it's not like, oh no, it's not going to last kind of thing. No, it's just like, it simply will transition into some other experience. The holding of this, even if you have something in your hand all moments of your life, what happens to be in your hand will vary in quality. So I'm saying, no matter whatever you grip, no matter whatever you try to control, aim, guide, navigate, clutch onto, believe, assume, like even the crystallizations of your own assumptions, your own beliefs, your own guesswork of reality and ignorance toward what really is, even all that will change. So there's nothing in it. You see, it's not about something like, oh no, it's gonna die and it will be no more. It's not about that. It's just that nothing remains the same. Even the way you hold whatever it is will change. So why would what you're holding not change? And again, the holding is a metaphor, right? It's not just really with your hand. Like you hear people go like, "Oh, I hold you in my heart." Oh, you're in high regards, like in someone's mind. Like, I hold you in high esteem. It's like, that's a mental thing. So there's all different kinds of ways to hold something. Just like, when someone's like, I'm attached to this. Okay, well, what's attached? Nothing's attached. It's just your mind is clinging. And that's the point. There is no real attachment, because there is no real separate thing from you. And because all the qualities that seem to be in the experience altogether as a universal constituency are interchangeable. There is no... Like, it's so rapid fire of an experience of how things are actually changing fundamentally that you actually don't notice them changing. Just like we don't notice ourselves really aging until, 5-10 years go past. Say 5-10 minutes go past when you're holding something. How you're holding it is changing. The thing you're holding, may have, changed its state, so it's now different. You know what I mean? Like, if you hold a fruit in your hand for a few days, it's like you're not even holding the same thing anymore. That's the point here. And again, at least half that equation is also the quality, because that's what all of life is a quality, right? So the quality of your own holding, how you are with it, is changing. Just like you can try to, like, you hold a weight, let's say, because it's a very easy example here. You hold a weight, okay, well, you pick it up, that's fine. You can be full grip strength, You really are, you're implicit upon how you're going to be with it. But give it 5, 10, 20, 30, 60, whatever minutes a day. Maybe a week if you're just insanely tenacious and it's a lightweight. No matter what, I'm saying, you will probably, if nothing else, actually come to dropping the thing. Because, and it's like not even because you realize it's inevitable, because Nothing is made to be held together as the same forever, right? And so it's a mixture of the realization of this, probably somewhere along through that process. If just like when people die, they don't, many people only realize they're going to die when they die. So you can only realize, for some, that they can't hold the thing forever and it be the same thing that they've held from the beginning and in the same way until just the moment of absolute undeniability occurs. Oh, wow. Oh, no, this is the case, So no matter, and I keep all this vague and abstract because it really doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to clutch and hold on to in this life, or whatever false sense of promises that you imagine or sense it's going to bear you is. Like, it all varies. What may make you happy now won't make you happy 10, 15 minutes from now. An hour from now, a week from now, a day from now, a month from now, a year from now. What does it matter? It's not going to be the same thing which effervesces and refreshes you in the long term and the whole scale anyways. So why are you going on about this thing so maliciously, so obsessively, so fervently, right? Because we've made up this psychological framework which is based upon crystallized assumptions, concretized assumptions, and guesswork, which has created this sensory framework of a mind, which you can literally feel in your brain. How you oriented the governmental qualities of mind will give you this kind of more at home, obviously sense periphery sensation of how your mental structure is framed. Because they follow suit, right? And according to how your brain is psychologically framed, you can actually feel the way your body becomes rigid. Everything falls in suit together like this. And so it really is all transient. And so it's a mixture of realizing and remembering this and, the basic essence of not forgetting it. So, because whatever you forget, you're bound to just resume the cyclic repetitionalization of actions amidst, right? So it's a remembrance of this and just also the eventual and yet immediate inevitability of seeing how that is the case, how it arises in actual 3D manifestation. Like if I say you're going to die and you're like, no, I don't believe that. Okay, well you can conjunct a disbelief until the moment occurs where it's obviously the case. So I'm saying, like you can hold this, you can have this unholy knight's grip, upon reality, until reality really fully sets in. It doesn't matter what else I say it for. This is da-da-da, and you can try to, fight it and hold on to something else, some other, sensed reality for as long as you damn well wish, really. But you still are, no matter what, if anything else, going to see that something else is the case. And so what we really have in this life isn't so much about what there is, how hard we hang on to it, or go for it, or whatever it be. Like whatever our effort or struggle is, whatever the strife we go through is, like that is, it's part of the point and also in the essential sense aside the point. Because whatever it is that we really seek is not separate from how we engage whatever we perceive the thing to be, let's say. I'm trying not to speak objectively, but I have to give some concept. So whatever it is that we're seeking, maybe I just won't call it a thing, as a quality, you see, it's not about I must go out there and fight the dragon or hold the standard, or you see what I mean, like create this directional strength and perseverance and agility and blah 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 oriented kind of heroic struggle. Yes, you can do that and it's all necessary in life, but to know a quality and embrace it for the innateness that it already is, meaning it's already fully available all the time, and anywhere in space-time, because it's not, again, it's not an object, so it's not out there somewhere. Just like the journey inward is not a journey at all, because a journey and adventure presumes that there is space and time to be traveled. You can, just like when you're sitting in meditation, let's say, there is endless amounts of experiences which go on, and none of which you really call an adventure or a journey or this, that, or the next thing, a pilgrimage or whatever. Like, you can call it that, but it's not really. Because it presumes that you've went somewhere to figure something out. Like, no matter how you look at it, that really is your salvage of the, of the phasic era in which you endeavored. So, any perceived journey or adventure presumes that there's also some kind of cachet of an experience at the end. Just like in a video game or something. I did the mission and then something happened. Even if there's not like a treasure chest or a princess, a knight in fucking shining armor, whatever. There's not some, apparent gleaming or even slightly attractive thing at the end to kind of elude you that direction for whatever other reasons, right? There's not like this initiatory and momentous motivation to some extent. There's always something basically to look forward to. But when there's this, adventure or whatever you want to call it, inward, there's no where do you start anywhere, because you already are where you are. You see what I'm saying? So everything is where you are. No matter where you go, that's where you are. And wherever you, whatever you do, that's where you are. Because it's not even like that must, I must be where I go. No, like it is so clearly the fact. So everything that you're seeking in life, basically, is already in the midst of your experience. That is what is being notioned here. Like, if I seek the gold, okay, well, the gold's already an experience that I'm already having. That's why it seems attractive to me, because I already kind of know what it is. I at least know its relevancy to my experience. There's an inference of an experience that I can detect and know in an immutable way what it will mean to me, because this is what it does mean to me. So we know the context of our very desire within our sensory system already. So why is it, again, basically, that we seek what we seek? Because there's this illusory sense perception of a promise. Like, in that very thing, that very concept I just mentioned, we know what it means to us. Like, oh, if I make the money, da 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 da. If I get the girl, da 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 da. If I get the guy, da 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 da. If I get a fucking pet, da 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 da. If I get the house, da da. If I get a car, da da. Right? If what, da 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 da. Like, there's this kind of elating, elevating raise up of standardized guesswork that, if and then the promise is it's. You're just getting a rise out of yourself just to watch yourself, fly without wings down the fucking valley from the peak. And then you wonder, where things went sour, where they went awry. Oh, just like, like the higher basically like the longer the branches, the deeper the roots. I could have said it a million different ways, but that's the point, is that no matter how far you go one way, you go the other way also. And it's not even like you go one way and then the other way. You perceive it this way, like when, oh, the happier I am, oh, the sadder I get. And it's like, no. It's just you developed and cultivated a deeper possible availability for yourself one way. So when this quote-unquote other experience occurred, you notice it's not necessarily after, because it wasn't just like, oh, I felt happiness for 30 minutes, and then for 30 minutes after it was sadness. In equal depth and intensity. No, like, the time is completely irrelevant, and even the spacious actions which seem to come through will not be equal. Well, they'll be equal, but not in this ratioed sense in our mind. It's about depth and intensity and the diversity of the experience, right? Just like, I have the same availability to be happy as I have anxious, depressed, or maybe just say sad, because depression is more like this kind of perceivably chronic state. But whatever these kind of like a sumptuously isolated emotional states are, like, and I'm just using emotions because they're just the most prominently obvious examples to give here. Because if I say just different energies, no one knows what the fuck to use the concept. But if I speak of emotion, right, yeah, those, like those categories. There's no categories for energy, right? So, whatever we have the capaciousness for, that spacious availability for, and we can embrace in those measures and in those dimensions. That's what we have for everything. So it's not about like, oh, what makes me gleaming and elated and all happy and everything's fucking rainbows and well and sunshine and dance with rose petals and blah blah blah. It's like, no, how deep can I embrace life? Because if you want to promise it all, it's that everything is going to sift and change, that everything is completely transient. And that's what I mean by there's no, that's what I meant by there's no I feel this and then for the same amount of time then I'll feel that. And it's like, no, life ain't some, sliver, like slice the pie in all equal measurements. It's not like that. It's, if you want to measure something, it's by the intensity that you experience it. Because the intensity, we're given a sense of space. Intensity with this kind of sensory perception of there being like a volume to be kind of occupied. That's what gives something its sense of measurement, a sense of dimensionality. Like if I'm sad for 9 days, and like, some people sad for a lifetime, but you know what I mean? Like I'm sad for this amount of time and space, but you're just kind of sad. You can be like insanely fucking angry for like 7 minutes. You're just a raging, fuming, puking fire volcano for 7 minutes. Like you've experienced the same depth and diversity. Friction and all-around orientation of that kind of exacting energy. You've experienced that sameness in 7 minutes. So, you see, this is the ratio quality that doesn't exist. We can experience things in different ways with the same kind of capacity available. And what I'm really getting at with all of this is you're not here to, and we all know this, to just experience X, Y, Z. You're here to experience A to Z and then whatever seems to lie beyond the alphabet that is known to you. Because that's what you call spiritual experiences, what you call anything that is, transcendental or holistic or, just like completion comprising, all these phrases and terms are all just made up, right? But whatever, basically I use the last one because it's like comprising a completeness of experience. Like whatever completely envelops you as an experience, that is what you're here for. Like, why do you want to be? Why do you think happiness is even good? That's the whole kind of consensus of this. Is like, why is there such an assumption that you should seek happiness, let alone even be it? Why is that a good thing? Because if you're being pragmatic, if you're being overly practical, and having this sly, slandering kind of skewed view upon reality, again in the practical way, like, then you should want this kind of agency benefit, right? Like, okay, well, we're happy. Is it helping you do more? Is it making you stronger? Is it making you, like faster, sharper, better, breathe longer, whatever it is, like, because if you're seeking something, you're seeking the benefit of it. That's what the point is. But seeking anything beyond the optimacy of your own experience is seeking something, right? Because optimacy is just, embracing the deepest beholded quality that can be of basically a present experience. You're seeking the optimacy of potentiality, which is not an object, right? You may use objects to get there, or to elevate for a certain time, blah, 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 blah. And it seems people get lost in this thinking that, we should be at a certain space, at a certain energy or frequency or perspective or something, and just use everything at all costs around us all the time to kind of remain in this honestly very complacent mentality. Because of the very assumptuousness that is how most people live their lives and base them upon, and everything amidst it, then is complacency. Because it's this, what is complacent? It's a refusal to move or be beyond a certain space or way of occupying it, right? A way of occupying any kind of reality in your experience. Like, that is complacency. I'm inside. Well, I don't want to go inside. Like, okay, you're complacent. It's not saying you're a bad human, but like you're basically dead inside. You're basically not a life. Because to be a life is to authentically witness, experience, and behold in this very fresh and effervescently embracive way. This all-encompassing way. Like that's why we speak of, like love is the ultimate. Love's not the ultimate. Love's like the first fucking the first fucking armhole, the first true fucking hug that you've ever had in your life. No ands, if, buts, blah 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 blah. You're really embracing something simply to fucking embrace the truth of what it is, and the whole kind of nature and context of this reflection here, all of it is just by proxy, as a byproduct of experiencing something truly for what the fuck it really is that you experience what the fuck it will be. Like a hug turns into a kiss, or a hug turns into holding hands, or a hug turns into a lifelong friendship, or you see what I mean? Like this is like transmutes and melds and transcedes and whatever into something else. This transmutes and morphs essentially as an essential quality into something else. Whatever that is your own perception, right? Like it's pareidolia, like you'll create in your own mind whatever seems to be humanly familiar to you. But as a fundamental reality, there's no denying that it is simply shifting, Like we're talking about this, and we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about whatever that is. It's always going to shift. Like there's no remaining in isolate, static quality forever. So even if happiness was the thing, even if enlightenment's the thing, like say fucking sadness is your favorite emotion, like be sad forever. Like none of these things. Some people literally enjoy being angry. I'm just like fuming all the fucking time because it's like it gets shit done and it's motivating. It's like we all have favorites, and I'm just saying, like, your favorite doesn't make it fucking good. It doesn't make it healthy. It doesn't just loftily turn into a real life fantasy that was true in every way. Oh, who would have known? No. And even if it could be, it doesn't make it healthy. It's like being happy all the time. You wouldn't even know that you're happy. Just like people were dopaminergic and hedonistic. Like after a while, they don't even like, what do you feel, man? I don't know. Or nothing. Or numb. Or life's boring. Cause it's basically like best case scenario, you have the lay of the land now, so you presume. And then all of life is known to you because you're only choosing, again, the XYZ content of it, right? So long story short, no matter, like, absolute best fucking wild card possible in life is that you know the way your life, it's not that you know life, but you know the way you are predicting your life to be, and therefore you know all the variables that are going to lay out before it. And what the fuck is even the point? Because why do we like surprises, right? Like, why do we like the spontaneity of the constant unknown ebb and flow of whatever of life? Because it's surprising, it's effervescently refreshing. It's this constant bubble up wellspring, rain upon me of, wow, I don't know what this is, but isn't this kind of wild? Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this, like, in a way, non-contextual? Isn't this, like, kind of unanimous and unconditional and basically foreign to me? It's alien to me. Wow, I'm figuring this out. Oh, like, you're really receiving and taking it in with baby's eyes and baby's skin, Like, you're really in this authentic connection of raw, non-bereft and completely beheld and self-enriching experience that has no name, it has no label, there's no italics there, like, oh, chi, like you don't know what it is, like there's no movie title to it. And that's what's the most beautiful about it, is it's so enriching because it's so new to you. Wow. Just like anybody who has a ton of money is trying to buy something that they don't have, trying to afford something that it will never buy. Just like I could say something like this when I said to myself when I was 20, there's no price I could pay for an invaluable moment, for a priceless moment. There's no price tag you can put on something which is beyond value, which is beyond this kind of ratioistic or ratioable kind of price tagging, basically. There's like if I used to like, I'm gonna give you like this blessing, and it's gonna just, you're gonna be in just like this deep, utter, like you basically feel like you're omnipresent, omnipotent. You know what I mean? Like you're just everything that you could ever experience. You're now able to blah 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 blah. Nothing is basically shut off or shunned or disconnected from you, blah blah blah. But you got to pay $1 billion. You see what I mean? There's no paying for that. Especially if I like, and you know what you really want, because if I said if that's the case or you get $1 billion, you know which one you would go for all reasons which can be amenable. You know, like you would go for what is beyond value, because I can give you the moon, I can give you the sun, the planet, all, you can own all the trees, or you can breathe all of the oxygen, like no matter whatever, the weirdest and wildest and seemingly ineffable desires, like you can have it all, and still you will desire something which seems to be, and really clearly is in some sense, beyond all of your sensory experiences. Like you can lift all of the weight, you can run for eternity, you can have all the abilities, you can have all the stuff, you have 4 billion cars, like you can own the galaxy, the universe, you can own reality itself. Like, let's say if that was a real thing, I mean, and somehow gift you and bless you, whatever, like you still have a desire which yearns beyond. So where, again, I tie it in a bow here, where the fuck is happiness supposed to be this great thing? And also, if you or sadness, or or elation, or whatever the fuck it is to you, rapture, bliss, ecstasy, like they're all just words for the same kind of eclectic, blown out sensory assumption. Like this, oh, this must be the experience, the thing everybody should be going for. Like, why? Because even when it's that, okay, if any seemingly like this guesswork of static experience, meaning like you assume that it's going to go on, happens for you, why is it great? You're just happy all day long. Even people who say like, well, I'm happy as a lark. Okay, and I'm just one quality all the time. I'm great. Like it reminds me of that Tony the Tiger Frost of Flakes marshmallow. It's great. It's like, it's not. It's fucking not. You're just that all the time. If you're sad all the time, there's nothing even that stands out about it. That's the whole point. Is it stops even being prominent, or it's not this great built-up thing. Because what you're experiencing is always being self-regulated. So you start to get used to whatever you're experiencing. You adapt to whatever you regulate whatever it is that you're already experiencing. So if you're always experiencing the same thing all the time, it's constantly like hyper-regulated. So there's nothing that stands out about it. There's nothing fresh and effervescent about it. So you seek what is like that all the time. What is fresh and effervescing. So like you can have these elevator experiences forever, but the moment you are having them, you're already regulating them. So seek what is fresh and new. That will always be beyond value to you.